Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Haven't done since last Thursday. I was on a road trip to Texas to see the Rangers' new ballpark, which was very nice. I mean, it's an A, but it was over last year during the scamdemic. But there was no reason to build it. Really, no good reason. I mean, there was a reason: greed. And those kind of things. But they had the 1994 to 2019, 1994 to 2019 ballpark at Arlington. And I remember when they opened that in 94, it was like, oh, this is the greatest thing, the ballpark at Arlington. And then later on, oh, it's too hot. Well, of course, it's Arlington, Texas. What do you think? It's going to be cold in July? It rains all the time. Yeah, it rains all the time. So we need a retractable roof stadium, which you, the taxpayers, should pay for. That was the attitude of the Texas Rangers ownership. You, the taxpayer, even though maybe a lot of the taxpayers have no interest in baseball. But the argument would be, well, it helps the whole community. Well, I don't want to get into all that because that's another lesson on free enterprise and not getting scammed by big business in collaboration with the government in cahoots. All right, but anyway, but it was a nice ballpark, and they're all nice. I've been to games at every major league baseball park. I had to go to this one to be able to keep saying that, and people ask me, what's the worst one? I say, you got to remember, there really is no worst one. There's just levels of excellent. You know what I mean? It's sort of like when I review a lot of beers, it's oftentimes 90 to 99. It's in that range. So people will say, oh, your scores are always 90, A minus, A plus. Well, yeah, because most beers that are produced are very nice, and there's really not a lot of flaws with them. Some people don't think that, or if they're doing beer reviews, they think that they don't, or they should not say that, but because they might be trying to position their channel, and they're thinking, how can I make it grow? What can I do to make my mark? And I have to look like I'm really a great critic, and you might say, how do you know that? I don't know that. I just get that impression. Okay. So this is a strange, smooth bottle cap. It's smooth. If your hands are all greasy, they'd slip. You'd have a hard time. There's no traction on it. You'd have a hard time opening it. Same thing with this cane run. Maybe they're using an anti-alcohol, anti-drinking campaign. They don't want you to open it. But I didn't have trouble opening them. This comes in a beautiful plastic bottle. Nothing like the thud of plastic. PET bottle. Cane run. Estate, no longer called Estate, for about a year, I guess. With a crown. Well, Trinidad used to be under Queen Elizabeth II, one of her realms, but they declared themselves a republic in 1976. So we have our own president now. So I don't know what the crown is about. You say, I know what it's about. Sazerac wants to make the rum look fancy. Right. Strange thing about Trinidad and Tobago, though, their Supreme Court is still in England at the Queen's Privy Council. It's the Queen's private council, but it's the Judicial Committee of the Queen's Privy Council, and that's the Supreme Court of the Republic of Trinidad. So you say, I never heard of an independent country that's got a Supreme Court in another country. Hey, look, it doesn't make any sense to me either, really, but I don't live in the British Commonwealth. I live in America. I am in America. All right. Beer Hound says, hi, Ronald. Hello to you, Beer Hound. Welcome to this Taste Challenge. Interesting, says Travis. I'm on my 4th Stone Liquid Poem. I hope that's the 4th in 4 days, DIPA. I hope that's the 4th in 4 days, because that is a 9% alcohol beer, 9.29%. It is an awesome beer. It's a great beer. Like Greg would say, it's an awesome beer, guys. It's an awesome beer. All right. Is Cane Run awesome rum? Yeah, so that's very interesting about Trinidad and Tobago. It's kind of a strange story. All right, but also the country of Mauritius, which also said they were breaking away from Queen Elizabeth in 1992, but yet their Supreme Court is still at the Queen's Privy Council. All right, blah, blah. Cane run, cane run. Let's make a run for the cane run. Let's make a run for the cane run. This is recipe number 12. You say, where's recipe number 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? They don't have that. Okay. Produced in Trinidad for the Sazerac Company and bottled in Louisville by the Sazerac Company. Captain Morgan White, introduced in 2014, a year before the cane run. That's a little bit of a misnomer, a little bit of a misinformation campaign. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. Captain Morgan, this is the older label. I bought this in 2019, and like a month after I bought it, they came out with the new, more colorful labels with the gold and the red and the blue. This one just has blue on it. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And there's Captain Morgan. There is only one Captain Morgan. Only one Captain Morgan. But can't help it if they change labels. And I put a link below and you can look at the website with the pretty bottle. Captain Morgan with his red outfit, his blue pants, and his boots, and his cape, and his fancy cap, putting his foot on a treasure chest like a pirate. But he was actually the governor of Jamaica, the first English governor of Jamaica. In 1962, Jamaica became a self-governing realm in the British Commonwealth, or just as they call it, the Commonwealth of Nations. And today, Jamaica does not have a governor. They have a governor general. So they moved up in status. When you're a colony, you have a governor. When you're an independent realm of Queen Elizabeth, you have a governor general. Do you understand what I'm trying to communicate to you? Captain Morgan White Rum is as smooth as the captain himself. But here's the weird part about it. It's produced in St. Croix, an island in the United States Virgin Islands. And it's bottled in Connecticut by Diageo. Now, if you do your research, you will find out that there is really only one huge distillery, rum distillery on the island of St. Croix. Oh, they have some others, little craft distilleries, you see, with very small capacity. And who, you may ask, is the big distillery on St. Croix? Anyone? A person that lives on St. Croix is a Cruzian. So it's St. Cruzians, Cruzan. It's Cruzan Distillery. They've been around since 1759, is it? 1759, or is it 49? 1749. 1749. Woo woo. We know they make Cruzan rum. And we know they make there's another rum that says made on the island of St. Croix. What's that one? Oh, Ronrico. So Cruzan, Ronrico. And now I bet you they're making under contract the Captain Morgan White for Diageo. In other words, you say, well, one rum company is paying another rum company to make their product. Look, they do this. This kind of stuff goes on all the time. All the time. Foster's pays Miller to brew their beer in Texas for the American market. Foster's is owned by Anheuser-Busch, InBev, for years now. But instead of them making it, it's made at the Miller Brewery in Fort Worth, Texas. And Miller isn't even owned by Miller because Miller is a part of Molson Coors. Miller hasn't been an independent company since 1966. So it's very interesting how all these things work. Okay. On my fourth. Oh, 4 and 2 hours, says Beer House. That's not good. No word 20 or 30. No WD 20 or 30. Says Scruffy says, I don't know what that means. Good history. Any new beer reviews? Yes, I got some. I did mezcal this morning and yesterday, right? And I posted the tequila review this morning. But I have so many beer reviews saved already. I wouldn't have to do another beer review for a week. That's how many I got to post, one a day. You know, you don't want to post more than one a day. People get sick of looking at it, including me. But you know, I'm gonna do a beer review later because I can't help it. You say you need beer. I see your problem. You need it. I don't need it. I just want it. Kessler. Yes. I've reviewed that though, and I've already done taste challenges with it. Good information, says Travis. Looks nice and smooth, says Jamid. All right. So go over here, Captain Morgan. I got a lot of it left too. Look at that. This was $19.99 at Winn-Dixie. $19.99. I'm not joking. This big old bottle. But I have even more shocking news. Diageo was running a coupon that week or that month. The little thing you cut out the newspaper. Sometimes they'll have that tag hanging on the bottle. You know, like with an elastic band and the tag will be. If you bought 2 bottles or at least one big jug bottle like this, you got a $5 discount rebate. Okay. So I paid $19.99, but I sent in my card and I got it for $14.99 minus the stamp. You know, plus the stamp, the price of the stamp, postage stamp. So I saved almost $5 off of this bottle. Now, I know some people believe this. They tell me this. They'll say, I don't use coupons. I say, well, why not? Oh, I'm embarrassed to. And I look at them like, what? Well, if I go to the store and I'm buying food, I don't want to turn in coupons because I don't want people seeing me use it. They'll think I'm cheap. I said, that's a very bizarre outlook on life because no one probably, A, they don't care if you're using it or not. They're probably totally indifferent to your food purchasing habits. And secondly, if the company's giving you $1 off the box of cereal, why wouldn't you not want the $1 off? So I'm not saying you got to be a fanatic about it. But I mean, if a company tells me, oh, this beer is $8.99 a 6-pack, but if you turn in this little piece of paper, it'll be $7.90. You know, $1 less, $7.99. Well, yeah, I'm gonna turn it in. I'm gonna get the $1 off. I mean, that's just routine. Here's the clear rum. It's so clear. It's so clear that tomorrow you're gonna be working in Alaska. Dress warm. And this one is clear too. Look how clear. Oh my dear, it is so clear. A want for beer is like a want for a candy bar, says Brandon Burrell. Brandon used to do a lot of hangouts with us on Wednesday nights. And this Wednesday night at 7:20 Eastern time or 7:30, depending when we can get it going, but 7:20 to 30, we are examining Newcastle Brown Ale Lagunitas version, the Lagunitas version. I might be doing it alone because I don't think too many people are thrilled with it, including people who have never even tried it. You heard me? Never even tried it. They're talking bad about it. They ruined it. They ruined it. I was like, did you try it? Well, no. Well, how do you know they ruined it? Well, it's Heineken and they're a big company and everything they touch, they turn to trash. I say, oh, okay. You haven't tried it, but you're dogging it. Okay, but that's all right. But that's all right. I didn't like that movie Out of Africa. You said, well, how, did you see it? Well, I've never watched Out of Africa, but I know I hate it because it seems boring. You know, that's the kind of logic that's the kind of logic we're talking about. All right, I don't like movies in general, so I just don't like movies. I'll watch some few specific movies, but in general, I don't like to spend 3 hours or 2 hours looking at something that never happened. You know, but anyway, did I like the effect of gamma rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds? I like that movie. Okay, I post 2 or 3 reviews a day. You lie. I don't think he posts that many. Who cares what people think? I don't think he posts that many, y'all, but he has drunk 4 liquid poems this morning, so you might want to take that into account when you read what he's posting here. You know. All right. You say you've been drinking. I have. I drank 3 cups of coffee. Ha ha. I haven't tried the new Newcastle, says Brandon. You know what? It's pretty good. Is it the same as the old Newcastle? It's not the same. And they tell you very directly on the website and on the packaging, it says it's a reimagining of it. Heineken knew that the sales of Newcastle Brown Ale in the United States had gone to nothing due to the ownership of never promoting the product. People just stick it on the shelf. That's all they would do, stick it on the shelf. They had the nice bomber bottles, you know, those 24-ounce bottles. They had the regular size 11.2-ounce bottles. You had the 12, no, I think they were 12-ounce for the U.S. market. And you had the 14.9-ounce cans, those nice brown tall cans they would have at the convenience store. And they had the 12-ounce can, 12 packs and all. And then it just slowly faded away. Don't do anything to promote it. Now, at least with Red Stripe, they're trying to do a little something with it. And people complained about, oh, it's skunky because of the clear bottle and all of that and everything. So I guess they figured, what the heck? We ain't got nothing to lose because we're not doing any, this brand is doing nothing anyway. So they probably talked to the Lagunitas people who they own, but they said, well, could you do something with this? And they might have said, oh, we don't know if we can do anything with it, but we could try. Kind of give it some California cool, give it some California cool character. And to me, it was a winner. It's a winner. Okay. I think they succeeded. It's not the same. It's a reimagining of it. It's like a song where somebody does a cover of it. All right. If Elvis Presley sang both sides now, it wasn't the same as if Judy Collins sang it or if Joni Mitchell sang it, who also wrote it. You know, it's not the same. It's the same song. It's a different way. And they might have even change the lyrics a little bit. So it could be a reformulation. You understand? Does it make sense? Am I communicating what I'm trying to say to you? Untapped did what it could to get people to drink it for a badge years ago, but that was years ago. Yeah. So they ought to sell both. That's the mistake. See, I should run brand development for all of these companies. I think I could help them all out. I really do think that. And you say you're bragging. If you can do it, it ain't bragging. I think they should sell both on the shelves. Newcastle, and they could have Newcastle Lagunitas edition. I just think it would be a good, and it could get people interested in both, and they could buy them, compare them, do taste challenges, and all of this. And just like they should have done the Ice House 6.9, and they could have brought back the 5.5 and had Ice House Classic. Ice House 6.9 for the alcoholics, I mean, for the beer enthusiasts, and the 5.5 Classic. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, you think too much. You worry too much. You have too many ideas racing around in your mind. Your mind is clear, but your soul is mad. You read poetry out loud. You can't go out in space. You can't travel out in space, you know, with fractions. What are you going to do? Land on 3/4? No, what I'm trying to tell you is that I do have a lot of ideas about these beers, and I think they're sound ideas, and I think they're good ideas, and I think they're workable ideas. And I don't really think I'm a creative person, honestly, but creativity means it's new and it's workable. So I think these ideas maybe are new, but they're workable. See, that's creativity. It's new, but it's workable. You say, what if you come out with a bunch of new ideas that are totally unworkable? Well, that's just stupid, you know. That's just stupidity. Lou Reed wrote a song about that. What's good? What's good? And the whole song is about ideas that are new, but they're idiotic. They make no sense. They have no value. Okay, I think this challenge is going to be very challenging because they're very similar and they're at on par. The price with these two is basically on par. You're looking at about $21 these days for Captain Morgan and about $19 for the Cane Run. Oh, and by the way, Captain Morgan, I said the white came out in 2014. They used to make a Captain Morgan white rum years ago in the 1970s or whatever, and maybe in the 90s when you know, the original owners, Seagram's was going down the tubes quick, going down fast like Kiss in 1978. They might have dropped the white version, but they do. I posted an advertisement in Alcohol Legs, an old magazine ad with Captain Morgan, but it wasn't called Captain Morgan White. It was the same kind of thing, but it was like Captain Morgan Silver Rum, something like that. You know, most rum companies going to make a white rum, silver rum. So I guess Diageo said, why we don't have a Captain Morgan White? Like, what's going on around here? So they brought it back. It all comes down to marketing. Guinness had been marketed well for years, but Newcastle had zero marketing. That's right, zero marketing. And when you get zero marketing, you get zero sales eventually. Look at Schlitz. Same thing. Same thing. In 1980, I was looking at an old college yearbook from like 1980, and they had pictures of people drinking Schlitz. A very common behavior in 1980. But after 1982, it was bye-bye advertising for the most part because Schlitz got bought out. And from what I read, it was a bit of a hostile takeover by the much smaller company, Stroh's. And somebody wrote an article called The Minnow Eats the Whale, you know, like in a Wall Street Journal in 1982. Late 82, by the way. So Stroh's won't get their hands on a big company. But Stroh's had no money relative to Schlitz. They could not adequately advertise. Schlitz had a huge advertising budget. Unfortunately, they had a huge debt load too that they could barely maintain. Well, Stroh's, they couldn't maintain it. And in 17 years later, they sold out to Pabst Brewing because they couldn't even pay the note on the debt. That note, that payment to the banks for buying Schlitz brought Stroh's down. They thought it was going to make them stronger, but it made them weaker. But anyway, that's not really my problem. But the point of it is they couldn't really advertise correctly for Schlitz. And so what happened to the sales of Schlitz after 1982? Well, they'd already been dropping a little bit, but then they really dropped like 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. Try finding Schlitz now. I remember asking my father that question. I remember we were riding in the van to Baton Rouge in 1985, and I said, whatever happened to Schlitz? You know, because I can remember as a child watching television, which was meaning watching football games, and always had a Schlitz commercial, just like they always had a Budweiser commercial and a Miller High Life commercial. Well, you didn't think much of it, really, because it was just something like Wesson Oil or something. You just don't think about it. It's on the TV. But they had interesting commercials that would kind of stick in your mind, kind of unique. They were unique, like the guys playing football or a man traveling to Hong Kong, or people diving in the ocean for treasure, or people catching tuna out in the high seas. And those are very interesting commercials. So that did make you think, like, this is a unique company because they have interesting commercials. Da, 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 da. And they have a voiceover. Hong Kong, gateway to the Orient. When a man comes here, he's got to be, you know, like tough and have his eye on the mark. And then they showed a guy drinking Schlitz, you know. And I was like, all right, that's a really serious company. Now, the Schlitz Bull, I'll remember those commercials too. They were a lot less serious. You know, they were more a different line, and it was like a comedy, you know, a comedy commercial. They were funny. A bull busting through the wall, you know. It was a different approach, but it's still very popular. I think by 1982, Schlitz Malt Liquor was outselling Schlitz. It actually became more popular than the flagship. I think it was a little bit better product. Had, what is it? 4 different malt varieties and 6 different hop varieties. We found Schlitz Malt Liquor in Marshall, Texas last week. but we bought the Gold Bull, baby. My friend David was saying, well, Sunday we'll buy it. I said, you ain't buying it Sunday, because Texas doesn't sell beer on Sunday until noon. We were way out of Texas long before noon. He was some drove and upset by that. I said, well, I mean, I didn't. So you should have stocked up when you were there. You were in the store. It was there in front of you. All this Schlitz malt liquor. Buy it when you have. What have I said? What is my sermon that I preach every week? When you see it and you want it, you had best buy it. Because when you go back to get it, it's going to be gone. The aroma here, they're like both peppery and light cane sugar. So is there a difference? There is a slight difference. Like this one may be a little more pronounced in the aroma, but it's very minimal, as I thought, because I think both of these are like premium brands. And like my friend David said, it's what and what. I never use that expression. It's what and what. But what he means is kind of like the same thing twice. It's a toss-up. It's not a appreciable difference. It's certainly not in the appearance and the taste. Let's go with the taste. I used to get the Gold Bull in Lake Charles when I'd work out there. Yeah. Still see it in West Louisiana, here and there, not too common. It was prominent in Marshall, though. I said, well, look at this. And the new can is so snappy, so snazzy, so typically Pabst. They put out great labels and then do nothing to market it and make it unavailable. What a horrible company. SSDB. Schutzstaffel Daredevil? I don't know. All right. This tastes fine. It's like light molasses. It's mostly dry, not so sweet. You say, well, it's a white rum. They're bland. Silver rums, clear rums, they're bland. Yes, they are. And they're made for mixed drinks. So what you're really getting, you're really buying these to get a 40% alcohol product with relatively no taste or aroma, but that will mix well and not ruin the cocktail. And this is what these do. Well, okay. This one's much sweeter, so I'm a little shocked because I thought it was going to be what and what, as my friend David said. But no, I'm a little discombobulated because this one's sweet. It's peppery like the other pepper, and you get the, oh, it's sweet. But I'm getting a lot of sugarcane stalk. The grassiness. Now that is not pleasant, really, when you could say, well, I don't know if I'd want to eat a sugarcane stalk. I'm sure you would not want to eat grass. And the sugarcane is very, it's a harsh, grassy stalk thing. It's like, that's why they make exterior housing particle boards out of it. It's tough too. I mean, you could, they used to whip people with it, let the cane soak in water and get flexible and they beat the hell out of people. So very bad stuff. So, but very good for a particle board. But for taste, I don't know about that. Smooth. This is so smooth. A little pepperiness, no grassiness, really. There's a touch of it, but it's essentially no grass. Now, what do we think of when we think of Captain Morgan? We think of smooth. Oh, so very smooth. Captain Morgan is so very smooth. I think this cane run, it's sweeter, but it's a little more rough cut. You say, so the Captain Morgan is like Levi Garrett. No, it's like, I'm sorry, King Edward. And this one is like Backwoods. The King Edward burns so smooth and even, and the Backwoods is rough. But by design, what do you think? It's called Backwoods. All right, but that's a bad analogy. But anyway, It's got to be Captain Morgan. It's got to be. Is Captain Morgan a rum or just a rum flavored spirit mission on a? Oh, it's a rum. Well, now they make the liqueurs. You know, Captain Morgan spiced rum is a liqueur. It's like 70 proof. But no, this is 80 proof. It's rum, pure rum. Is Captain Morgan White popular? I think it's pretty popular. When it hit the market, and they don't promote it. They don't promote it. They just stick it on the shelf. They figure, well, people are looking for white rum. They see Captain Morgan. They're familiar with the name, the world's most popular rum, except for, well, the second most popular after Bacardi. And so, yeah, I mean, it's done. They buy it. I mean, I know people that's all they're going to drink is Captain Morgan. That's their thing. That's their jam, as they say. And they're not going to deviate. It's fine. It's a big-time brand. It's like Bacardi, big-time brand. SSDD, same stuff, different day. Clean version of the statement. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road rums. I mean, sort of same-ish. Right. Yeah, just like same old stuff. But not bad. That doesn't. Sometimes people take that as it's a pejorative, like you're putting the rum down or something. I'm not doing that. It's common. It's the same, but it's high-level mediocrity, I guess you could call it. It's not like the greatest thing in the world. You know you're not getting the greatest thing in the world for $20 for a handle. I guess you could go to a liquor store and find some clear rum that's $89 a bottle, white rum. And it's going to be much more complex and erudite and all of these things. I haven't paid $89 for white rum, and I do not intend to do that. Burley Sullivan says, I love that I'm not the only one that sips this time of day. I love you, brother, says Chad Humphrey. Right. Well, I wouldn't drink alcohol at 5:30 in the morning. I have some kind of self-control. I'm just tasting. You know, it's a tasting. This is a tasting. And that's the way we feel about it. Ew, how sweet it is. The normal Captain Morgan has a buttery flavor, easy to drink, but I get concerned about artificial flavors. You sure it's artificial flavoring, though? I thought Captain Morgan was natural flavors, but I don't know. I've never had a spice rum in my life, you see, so I wouldn't know. But I really wouldn't know. I'd have to look at the label and know. Brandon said, I like to try any liquor straight before I mix it with something. I'd like to know the flavor profile first. I'm the same way. I know people that only do mixed drinks. They've probably never had a straight liquor in their life. Does that make the people bad? Are they inadequate in some way? Are they inferior to us? No, it's just the way they like to drink it. I'd sip at this time of day if I didn't have to work. That's a good point. On my days at work, I don't do taste challenges. I don't drink liquor. I don't drink beer until I get home. All right. Let me sum this up. It was an enjoyable hangout. Got to catch up with y'all and everything. It's kind of like we're just hanging out, having a good time. Most people are driving to work listening to this on a radio, like a radio show, what you want to call it. I would say that I would recommend both. So as far as quality, enjoyment level, international enjoyment units, IEUs, I invented that word, by the way. So somebody running around saying IEUs, they stole it. Just like the word natural father for that beer, Natty Daddy. People say I'm drinking the natural father. I came up with that term in 2011, so thank you. But quality level, even. Price, basically even, maybe $2 more for Captain Morgan. So everything is even pretty much. Captain Morgan does have a prettier bottle, though. You got to give it that. Got that embossed glass. Looks so suave, so suave. Oh, all right. But now the question of the hour is, can I tell them apart? I think I can, but I'm not sure. But I think this is the Captain Morgan, and I think that's the Cane Run. Oh. So the Cane Run was the smoother product. Ooh, woof. Well, just goes to show you. A soft and mellow smoothness that belies rum's story past. Its balance makes it the ideal rum for classic and modern rum drinks alike. Bottoms up. Well, okay. I guess I couldn't tell them apart. And I guess the Captain Morgan is more grassy. Well, that's the fun of it, I guess, the challenge. You can't win them all. But at least you're trying, you know. You're trying your best to do the taste run. Now we're going to move away from rum for about half a year, I guess. At least 4 months. And we're going to go to mezcal. But that's going to be very short because I hardly have any mezcals at this time. I'm building up my stocks, though. So later today, I'm planning to do Monte Alban Mezcal, which came out in 1977, and I'm going up against Ryu, which I think it's only been around since 2014. Ryu Baal. I don't know nothing about that. It's just from Mexico, and they claim they use all traditional methods, and it's really super duper and all these things. It does taste great. The Monte Alban is one of these gimmick mezcals. It's one of the real old brands that was nationally advertised where none of the others ever were. And it's got the worm in the bottle. You know, that kind of thing. It's sort of like a Saturday night party rum, mezcal. You know what I'm talking about. But it is famous. It does have that basket weave bottle design, which is very cool. It does have a heritage to it, like memories attached to it. Maybe bad memories people have of being very sick after a Friday night or whatever, but that's not really my problem. But and then we're going to transition into white tequila, silver tequila. I have Montezuma coming up against some other ones, so that'll be fun. And then we're going to have some real excitement coming in, really great excitement. Rye whiskey, going back to brown liquor, rye. Oh, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. So that's it. All right. What do you do for work? Me? Well, I retired from being a teacher. I used to be a school teacher, college and high school, taught for Southern University in New Orleans and Southeastern Louisiana University, and also public high school. So I retired from working for the government. Yeah, I was a government employee. And then I now just work part-time. What do I do at work? A little bit of this and a little bit of that. But I get a lot of exercise. And I like manual labor because teaching, you don't really get the exercise except you run your mouth. And that's not, you want physical exercise. I like manual labor. But anyway, thanks for watching this video production.